How about that? That was quite the game so far. It's not even over yet.
No, it doesn't end until it's over. But then at that point, it's over. But the Broncos have put up quite a show. They fell behind 10-0, then scored 34 straight points, and they were really
Defense
triggered.
got them started.
Yeah, triggered by Patrick Surtain with a long run and long interception return for a touchdown. But the offense awoke in the second half, and looks like they're going to end that 8-game losing streak to the Raiders. They're ahead 34-18, about 4 minutes to go. Not looking so good with that 10-0 deficit. Those 34 straight really came off that 100-yard pick six by Pat Surtain. He now has 2 interceptions on the day, whereas Bo Nix has a couple of touchdowns in the air. He ran for another one, and it looks like the Broncos will finally beat the Raiders. Couldn't happen on a better day.
Yeah, because it's perfect day. The Broncos were throwing it back to 1977 all day, wearing their iconic Orange Crush uniforms to honor that Orange Crush defense that helped lead them to the first ever Super Bowl and at halftime, they inducted 2 members into the team's Ring of Fame, former tight end Riley Odoms and former safety Steve Foley. Before the game, they celebrated former linebacker Randy Gradishar's Hall of Fame induction. Gradishar, the bust of the Hall of Fame, made the trip to Empower Field, as did a number of former Broncos who have also been enshrined in Canton.
How cool for Randy and Riley and Steve to be honored today, but also to see those old uniforms.
That's nice.
Yeah, that old look that was such a big part of those great teams.
Everybody loves it, and they're so lucky right now. Maybe they'll keep them around longer.
A lot of talk about the new uniforms, since that era, though, and many people, when you say, boy, those uniforms, those old uniforms, that's what they should do. Those are the best, and I'm one of them. Other people say, yeah, they lost a lot of Super Bowls in those uniforms.
Yeah, when I said a Super Bowl appearance, yeah, we did lose Super Bowls, but that doesn't, you get to the big game.
Yeah, well, we will keep you posted on the Bronco game. Of course, we'll be going to the locker room. We'll hear what Coach Payton had to say, as well as the Broncos, as it certainly looks like they're well on their way to a victory, ending that 8-game skid against the Raiders. A win also moves them to 3-2, which is pretty nice, considering that they started out 0-2. A third straight win. Big news out there. So a live look at Empower Field right now, and you can see a sunshine day. The fans are sticking around now, getting a good look at the final minutes ticking off the clock. Beautiful sunny day. The heat, the sunshine, well, that's part of this week, and it's going to be part of next week, too, with our Weather Impact Team Chief Meteorologist, Kathy Sabin.
Okay.
We're going to stay in this for a while.
Yeah, it's very unusual, and at some point winter weather is coming. This is the month we see the average first freeze and the average first snowfall, but not today, not tonight, and really not this week. We have a beautiful day, like that country song Joe Nichols sings, sunny and 75. That's our Denver, Colorado today. Sunny and 75 degrees, although those in the high country enjoying a nice day in the mountains with good visibility for the most part. 75 in Denver, average for the date is 70. We saw 83 in Grand Junction, 71 in Steamboat. Winds picking up just a little bit, not a huge issue, but wind and warmth create elevated fire danger, something we'll be talking about this week. So mild, little windy today, warmer this week, and we'll be talking about the chance for maybe a pattern shift and a little bit of moisture coming our way. A little haze out there, wildfire smoke coming in from Utah and Wyoming, kind of messing with our blue skies today. It's going to do that again tomorrow. That is really nasty air coming in. We'll see some changes with the wind that will scour that smoke out. All eyes on the Gulf of Mexico with a very dangerous Hurricane Milton that is taking aim at southwest Florida. Landfall anywhere between Fort Myers and Tampa. It could go as high as a Category 4 storm. Landfall on Wednesday. So that's going to be a big story for us this week. Back here in Colorado, sunny and 72. Beautiful evening to be out and about. Coming up, the timing and impact of our next big weather change with your extended forecast. That's just ahead.
Denver police have arrested a man they believe is responsible for an overnight shooting. Police say this happened just before 2:30 in the morning on Champa Street near Lawson Park. One person was shot, taken to a local hospital. It's not clear how they're doing. This morning, police arrested 36-year-old Jerry Jones in connection to that shooting. He's being held on attempted first-degree murder. Tonight, Denver police are investigating the shooting. Final charges still pending.
The search for a law enforcement canine out of Fremont County has come to a sad end. The Fremont County Sheriff's Office says after an extensive search, the canine Watson was found dead by his handler on Friday afternoon, just off of Highway 9. Watson had been missing since Tuesday. Officials took the canine to a local vet where it was later determined he'd been hit by a car. The Sheriff's Office says services for Watson will be arranged at a later date.
The Republican activists that put up racist signs along Colfax in Denver will be arraigned in court tomorrow. Police issued Christopher Bally, who goes by the name Sabo, a citation for illegal postings last month. Bally is self-described Republican street artist who is nationally prominent in some circles. And he has a hit, but this was all before he had that history of racist writings. And that surfaced. The citation received carries a maximum penalty of up to 300 days in jail and a fine of up to $999.
Tomorrow, members of the public get the chance to meet with Denver Public Schools to talk about potential closures and consolidations. This is going to be the third round of discussions surrounding the district's decision-making process. They still haven't said which schools might close, but the district says it'll look at areas with clusters of schools. DPS Superintendent Marrero is expected to recommend those potential closures next month. After that, DPS says there will be more community meetings before a final decision is made. Tomorrow's meeting scheduled for 6 p.m. It will be at CEC Early College.
Also happening tomorrow, the Harris Walls campaign is bringing their Fighting for Reproductive Freedom bus to Denver. It's part of the campaign's effort to rally voters in Colorado. Headliners include Democrats, Governor Jared Polis, Senator John Hickenlooper, Congresswoman Diane DeGette, and more. And they're expected to speak on the threats to reproductive freedom that voters face in this election, including here in Colorado. It's not clear where the bus will stop exactly. It is scheduled to get here around 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. The bus will also make a stop in Pueblo. That's after things wrap up in Denver.
A world-traveled artist will begin his latest art series in Colorado, hoping his political drawings will make a statement in the upcoming election. 9 News reporter Janelle Finch is here to tell us more about his message. Janelle?
Kyle Holbrook says he hopes that as people pass by his work, they feel empowered to cast their vote in the upcoming election. Art in Rhino is a guarantee.
Rhino is, one of the best arts districts in the country.
And artist Kyle Holbrook wanted to make his mark on this part of Denver with a message.
It's important to remind people that no matter who wins the election, we're still all Americans. We got to do it peacefully. And I wanted to have some artwork that went all around the country, that started in the Rhino, and that spoke to the need for peace throughout this election.
Holbrook says he wanted to get ahead of whatever happens after the 2024 election.
There's a lot of rumbles of possibilities of some violence, no matter who wins.
So now through November, Holbrook is putting up caricatures like these across the country. His nationwide travel is funded by grants from the Moving Lives of Kids mural project.
We've done murals in 49 states, 43 countries around the world, really focused on education through art.
He says each drawing takes a few minutes, but he hopes those few minutes help convey his message.
To remind people the importance of voting and that it's an important part of being American, but also to do it peacefully.
Holbrook is planning to take a series to 15 states, including several swing states. Janelle Finch, 9 News.